the love of liberty, in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Na 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 na. Whoa, 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 whoa. Life is so good to me. Life is so good to me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. From your wake up this morning, you're a winner. Yeah, 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 yeah. From your wake up this morning, you're a winner. Yeah, yeah. Watch out, Jaja.
energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Wind up, I want to hold on a bumper right now,
And of course, that is the business that we are into, to making sure that your day starts very, very right. Good morning, everybody. Trinidad, Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean, friends who are streaming all around the globe. Yeah, good to have you here. This is New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, as we take you above and beyond.
From your wake up this morning.
So Charles, that is me, and I will be here with you. Well, not just within the breakfast show. I'm having some kind of long days these days, but it's good to be here nevertheless. Giving God thanks and praises for life and everything that we do, dear God. Let it be a blessing unto you. Of course, this is the Get Up and Go. We welcome everybody to the breakfast show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show. Thank you, Sir Charles. Welcome to the breakfast show this morning. Of course, we are coming to you live out of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to our listeners and viewers in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean and across the planet. And of course, it's a wonderful Tuesday morning. It's good weather outside, at least in Trinidad. It's a wonderful morning. So welcome to the show this morning. And over to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Sir Charles.
Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's Tuesday morning. I have not looked outside for the morning, but it appears to be a nice, sunny, beautiful morning. I just had normal problems that I have, and I had it last night into this morning. I think the sleep I got was between 5 and 5:15 when the alarm bells went off, and then when it was about to go off the second time. Right. I think that's when I had sleep, So, but we're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Those celebrating birthdays and anniversaries today have an absolutely fantastic day. Of course, we have several people online with us already for the morning, and that's what makes the day worthwhile sometimes, So we're happy to be,
Yeah, so of course, I will greet all of the people who have sent comments in the section. Of course, we are simulcasting on YouTube, Facebook, TuneIn, and we are live on M&E TV on cable providers across the Caribbean, not only in Trinidad and Tobago. So welcome to everybody, whichever platform you are listening or watching us on. We appreciate you choosing us to be your program of choice in the morning. Of course, we'll be saying our good mornings to those in the comment section. I know there's a barrage of you in that section who would have said good morning already since early o'clock. So we'll get to that. But of course, we always like to start off with our good news for the morning. So let's get straight into good news.
Follow along with me as I set a national record for Trinidad and Tobago without fins, 35 meters below.
Javon Ballington, Trinidad and Tobago, 35 meters, CNF, national record attempt,
At this
time
point,
of 1
I'm
minute
focused
30
on
seconds,
free-falling and
130.
relaxation. I need to also be aware that I need to grab this tag at the bottom plate and show it to the judges as I surface.
30 meters, down. $30 meters up.
Now the entirety of the dive isn't over. I need to surface with this tag while showing good surface protocol to be allowed a white card.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello. That was a national record for diving without fins. And of course, I came across that video. And there's all sorts of achievements people are making, and sometimes you're not even aware. Because it's just not in your field of experience. And so
Where did that take place, though?
I don't know if it was like down Chagaramas or something. I'm not sure exactly where it took place. He didn't identify where, so I'm not sure.
Right.
But I assume it's somewhere in Trinidad and Tobago because it's a Trinidad and Tobago national record.
Yes. Okay.
That's not a record that you will ever get, Wendell.
No, it's not a record that I will ever even attempt. Especially after my episode on Sunday gone.
In 3 feet.
I've avoided talking about that for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you could go laugh at it, but
So, Charles, you would do that? You would do something like that?
like what? Like if I could have swum, yeah, I probably would do something like that. I can't swim at that kind of level.
I don't know. I mean, I have basic swimming capabilities, I guess, but I don't know. I remember when I was in Barbados and I was studying, and sometimes we used to swim out. We used to have a boat that we used to swim out to as students, and board the boat, whoever boat it was, trespassing, I guess, and then jumping off the boat and swimming back to shore. And I remember a time they gave me goggles, and I went under the water with goggles, and I was like, I don't need to see what's underneath me. I do not need to see all of that.
But after
I came back up and I just said, look, take all the goggles. I don't want to see. But I not
your
know.
last swimming story with Clifford Lemon, I don't want to hear anymore. I'm afraid to hear anymore. I'm afraid to hear any more of your stories.
After the seizure.
Yeah. No, but I'm not a sea person. I'm not a water person. And as I said, I kind of admire people who do it, you know what I mean? But it's not something. I'm a daring person, but not with water. You understand? I do things. I've done all kind of crazy rides, all kind of crazy hikes. I walk with lions. What could be more daring than that? But I'm not for water. I'm not any water business.
Walked among big cats.
I did walk among big cats, and they were huge. The video didn't give justice to the size of those cats.
Yeah, I saw you in the background. You kind of look like you could have felt a run if need be.
There was one point in
You
time.
look too comfortable.
You must show that video. We must show that video one morning.
You didn't look too one with nature at that point in time. But yeah, you did it.
We must show that video one morning, Richard. I will send it to you. And a matter of fact, I can send it now so that you could show it and show people my achievement as a Trinidadian, because I don't know if any other Trinidadians have done what I did. I've never seen a video of a Trinidadian doing what I did. I know there are lots of other people around the world who were there that day, especially people in Europe, because in Senegal it happened. So people in Europe and people in other parts of Africa were there. So I'm going to send it for you now. Let me find it. And maybe I could show it. Maybe I could get in on the good news this morning. Let me see if I find it first.
That would help.
Huh? Yeah, no, I have it right here. I have it right here. Hold on. I have it right
You can
here.
bring up your microphone a little bit. You know,
Okay.
you're kind of in and out of it.
Okay, you hear me better now?
Yeah, here now a little bit. You know.
Yeah, okay.
I have so many videos of me and these lions.
Okay.
I want the one where I was actually walking behind them for you.
But that was our good news for this morning. You know, so I can close it off if Wendell gets this video eventually. We can do it as an addendum to the good news. Yes, of course we have some special guests on this morning. In the next hour we'll be speaking to Maite Montenegro. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her first name correctly. Of course, she will tell us when we speak with her. She is a teenager, but she is making waves in Latin America, and of course she's part Colombian and part Trinidadian. So we'll be speaking with her. I know she's had some media exposure already in Trinidad. We had some featured articles on her, but we are speaking to her this morning. So we're getting a sense of her journey, her musical journey in Latin America, and get an idea of where her musical journey is heading. So that should be an exciting interview. Good to talk to young people making waves globally.
Yes. Maite Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to play some of her music, but then I was saying, I don't know if we can because, you know, YouTube doesn't give a copyright strike because we're on the YouTube platform.
Yeah.
So
we will also
have to sing it a cappella.
Yeah. She could probably sing it a cappella.
Yeah.
You know, I'd send the video to you, Richard. We will also be speaking, hopefully, with the election supervisory, the head of the election supervisory committee from the People's National Movement concerning their nomination they processed yesterday. Of course, Penelope will speak with opposition leader and political leader elect now, Penelope Beckles Robinson, who's been the only candidate to be nominated for the position of political leader. So it's a fait accompli right now. She will be political leader of the People's National Movement come the end of the month. I think the election is June 22nd, but the convention is June 29th. So we will speak with her in the week. She did agree to speak with us. But there are lots of other interesting races inside of there. And as I posted on my Facebook page yesterday, there are two people in the race who don't need to ask me for my vote. And they are the returning operations officer, Irene Hines. She does not need to ask me for my vote. And the returning welfare officer, Maxine Richards, she also does not need to ask me for my vote. You understand? Everybody else, well, they've already been asking. But Irene and Maxine have done such a wonderful job. Irene is a workhorse over the years. A lot of things can't happen in the PNM without Irene. I know she may rub some people the wrong way, but let me tell you something. That woman could work hard. And she speaks her mind. And you know me, how I like people who speak their mind. Right? So
you're a big papi in the party, so people have to consult you for your vote.
People asking me for my vote already, yes.
Yeah, so you're a big papi?
No,
if we get Wendell vote, that is it, we win.
No, they know I'm on radio. They know I held a position, different position. So they feel I can be a person of influence. Nothing wrong with that. So, not wrong with that. I have no problem with that. And of course, Maxine Richards, who replaced the very hard-working Joycelyn Bodden. And I didn't think anybody could have do the job Joycelyn Bodden used to do. Maxine Richards has done it with tremendous success. So those are two people, they already have my vote. The others work hard for it.
All right. And just in case you are asking for it and calling for it in the comment section, here is Wendell with his journey among big cats.
Bob Marley. Sisi mungi ubeko de. Ko sisi mungi ubeko de hamu.
What's this part?
Yeah. Your heart was going budup.
Oh, stop. Andy Berenry. Stop. Wow, bahna legre. Very good.
Let me tell you something. That was an experience of a lifetime.
if the cat decide to turn the next direction, who's to stop the cats?
Yeah, because all the people to assist you on the other side of the camera.
My video would have gone viral if they had turned around. I telling you that.
Yeah.
That video would have gone viral. I'm not filming it, obviously. But
Yeah.
that video would have gone viral if they had turned around. Trust me. You know?
Hey.
But
Anyway.
it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it looks like a once in a kind of lifetime experience, actually. You know,
Yeah,
walking with
it
those
was in
lions.
the Fatala Reserve in Senegal. It's right close to the border of Gambia. It's a huge reserve. And it's one of the few places you could actually do that. Walk with the lions. Lion walk, they call it. You know, and you see that stick in my hand, everybody had to have that stick. I don't know what the stick signified, you know, but it was an experience that a lot of people go out to that part of Africa just to do, you know, and I was happy to be there. We overnighted actually in the reserve, and because we had gone out too late the afternoon, and we overnighted in the reserve, and then in the morning we got up and we went out there first. So we were a small group of about 8 of us. You understand? All the other groups were a lot larger, but we just had a small group. So we got a really nice experience, you know? It was nice. It was mind-boggling. I didn't think I would do it, but I did it. So give me land. Especially give me land. But I don't mind the cats, but give me land. Don't give me water. I didn't say it should say something, you know.
So all the other people on the other side of the camera, what were they in a vehicle? What they were?
No, it's a walk.
Walking?
Everybody walking.
Okay.
Everybody. I have some other videos that are mind-boggling. I actually just sent Richard and I actually sent you all another one too. I have some videos of that experience that's mind-boggling. I even jumped out the vehicle one time and went out close to a giraffe. They say, Wendell, where you going? I say, I go to the giraffe. There I walk it out to meet the giraffe. And of course, the giraffe turned towards me. I don't know how I would have gotten away if it had run at me, because giraffes are very quick.
Yes. Have a deadly quick.
Very quick. Very quick.
Down, Wendell.
Is he watching it? Wendell watching, you know?
Get him. This is full.
I'd lie, let's look back and say, nah, here would that meal, nah?
Yes.
Yes, man. Pick up yourself. I enough Judah.
That's when the male lion got up.
Next.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you can.
Yeah. Just use your phone.
Yeah.
Everybody looking like this Korean box.
All right.
Yeah. Even the cameraman forget the business. Cameraman forget the work.
But everybody got nervous at that point in time when that lion got attempted to get up.
Yeah, because it's still wild animals after all is said and done. So
Yes.
I've seen so many of those videos where those cats and other animals take off after people on these reserves, especially some of the
You know what
elephants.
those lions did? When they first came, they were called through the forest to meet us at a particular point. They did what came natural to them. They mated right there in front of everybody. I have that video too.
I could save the audience that one.
Yeah.
Can we say good morning to our listeners,
Please.
please?
So while you organize, let me
I think the first business Anthony turned to, so we can start with it.
Yes, let me start. Grand rising to the breakfast crew and to all locked on. Shalom and happy birthday to Karen Edwards. Have a great day, cuz Karen Edwards lives in Trinidad. Anthony Tinto is out there in Toronto. He's working nights, he said. Susan Jessup came in. Good God's love, grace, and blessings. Sir Charles from from Susan, Suzette, and Gemma. I think Susan and Suzette are twins. Is that
Yes,
so?
Yes,
Well,
they are.
Gail Ann, who passed and checked me yesterday, told me that they're twin. I never realized that.
I don't know that.
You know, child of God says tremendous blessings upon everyone. Slick Money Grip, good morning, gentlemen. Brennan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago. Margaret Thomas Melissa from Champlain, and as I pointed out earlier, if you can let us know exactly where you're messaging us from, and how you're watching us. If you're watching us on YouTube or on the television, that'd be nice, so we can gauge exactly what's happening with the show. Sherwin Kerr from Arima, Erica Charles, thank God for sparing our lives to see another beautiful day. Boy Bidesi from Debe, Ozzy Molino,
Just now, I kind of jumped there, I think.
Yeah, you're going on to Wendy and James. I know you reached out. Ozzy Molino, Doreen Pierre, good morning, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. Marlon Motley from Valsayn North. Marlon is here, I remember. Wendy and James from Aranguez. Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach in Florida. Rena Jennings from PT Valley. CJ from New York. Ingrid.
Good morning, CJ. Good morning, Ingrid.
From Tucson, Arizona. Cheryl Silly says, peaceful morning. Marcia Rock also says, good morning. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale. Ava Smith, Magic, good morning. Grand rising to the breakfast group. Lambert Bruce. Every time I see the name Lambert Bruce, I'm thinking of Monk Lambert. I don't know why. Joyce Phillip from Maracas. Julia S. Batiste. Carol Guevara from Central Trinidad, I think it's Enterprise or Shagona. So here's from Carol. Claire Lendor Rollins. Dwayne Sylvester. Diane Payne. Good morning, Net. Trinidad Margot from Florida. Miguel Gonzalez. Diana Hamill from Cuba. Thanks for joining us, Diana Hamill. Kathy Ann Charles. DL, who I always think of Donglu, I don't know why. Cat Consulting Services, who is Chris Toussaint from Washington, D.C. Michael Robinson from Yokohama, Japan. Richard Jemmett and his mother, Josephine. Mrs. R. Felix Kazo. Ron DeSantis Jr. from North, is it Virginia? I think it's Virginia. Alistair Hart from San Fernando. Yeah, Alistair, you're very right. He has no branches. Beauty Culture, Anne Noel Odell Guy. Wait, them wasn't, no, they wouldn't on a chain, Miguel. They were walking freely. Alistair Hart, very correct. I will faster do that ocean dive than walk with those lions. Sick money Grip Wendell was Gavin Nicholas asking for a job in the PNM. No, not as far as I'm aware. Steph says fake. I don't know what is fake.
Talking about you walking with the lions.
He should know. Beauty Culture, Wendell, you're brave. Awesome. And Ram Narish, those lions obtained. Who's Ram Narish? Oh, Indomitable. The person changing up the name every day. Care Business, this is a new name. Hi, handsome men. Your UK listener enjoying the conversation. And of course, some
good morning, Care Business.
With the Lions. Was that, sorry?
Oh, just saying good morning.
Cheryl Henry, congratulations to Mrs. Beckles Robinson as political leader. At last, a woman is leading the PNM. It is long overdue. All right. Yes, critical care. So right. Kelsha Cambridge says good morning. Lyndon Williams is from Sangre Grande. He's watching on YouTube. Thanks for letting us know. Beauty Culture from Arima watching on YouTube. Anne Noel from Oshawa, Ontario watching on YouTube. Rena Jennings on YouTube. Faraya Hayatali from Naparima Girls. Morning, Miss Hayatali. Kelsha Cambridge is New York, YouTube. Wendell, I could never. Okay. Shema Paul says, hi, all blessed morning. Hazel Will, morning, watching from Sangre Grande on YouTube. Joyce Phillip is from Champlain, and she's watching on YouTube. And Brenda Isaac is from Upper Santa Cruz. All right? So those are all our greetings online. So Charles will have some more first.
Yeah, so our WhatsApp people, let me say good morning to Pauline. I don't know where Pauline is from. Also, Kent, good morning to you. Archbishop Ashton Clark, who is still in Trinidad, he's leaving tomorrow. So, a safe journey home, Archbishop. To Carlton out there in Carenage. Carlton is a big fan, so good morning to you. My girl Terry Ann Peters, have a fantastic day, guys. Miss Dabney, good to have you up very early. And Frank, what's your last name? I'm trying to put everybody in contact listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last names are important. But yeah, so that is it so far. And good morning to everybody.
And
So
of course,
Gila,
a big happy birthday to Mrs. R's mom. Christy's mom's birthday is today, and she is watching on. A big happy birthday to you, moms.
Mhm.
okay.
And
Happy
a good
birthday
morning
also
to my sister Judy Davis also. Morning, Judy.
Morning,
Right.
Judy. And a regular Facebook blogger, Anthony Morgan Beach, I think he's from Point Fortin. He is also celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Mr. Beach. And of course, a special good morning to Gaylan, who says she will help us plan the boat ride for all our people on the net on the breakfast show. Okay, we're calling it the breakfast boat ride. So probably, and we have free bacon char. Gaylan and plan this thing out. Free bacon char. She say free coffee. You know, I say Gaylan, where you get the money? She say,
You know,
don't
one
worry.
way she can plan it. She good at that. She can
Yeah,
plan.
she
I met
good at
Gaylan's
planning.
son the other day.
Yeah,
You know,
DJ Shane, eh?
I said I met Gaylan's son the other day. I didn't even realize. You know them as little boys.
Yeah, they get bigger.
Boys to men.
And I'm like, and he said, I'm Gaylan's son. I said, what?
Yeah, they get big, boy, and they're so talented and so pleasant.
Yeah.
Pleasant boy. When you have boy children and they're pleasant like they are, you know, it's really a blessing, eh?
Yeah.
You know?
My mom used to say the same thing about me.
Okay, we gotta take it with it. Because I was a spoiled child.
My
I know
sister's
that.
watching. You see, he does not lie.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God. Anyway, let me get to the headlines of the 3 daily so we can start taking some calls.
Yes.
I know we have some other guests besides Maite Montenegro, who's our main guest. I know we have other people who are going to talk about that PNM internal election thing that's happening at the end of June. At the end, is it the 22nd? The 22nd of June?
The
22nd
election
of
is the 22nd of June.
Yeah,
But
that
the
little,
convention is the
that,
29th.
that little PNM thing that's happening.
That's a big thing because when you watch the people who are interested in positions, including Roger Boynes, who I haven't heard from a long time.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Roger Boynes in a while. Yeah,
and he was one who called me already. Yeah, I'll tell you that. You know,
why everybody's running on your boat? So, what power you have in the PNM?
Yeah, no, I have a voice on radio, I guess.
I had to investigate that, Sir Charles.
Vote for you're free.
What power you have, so?
But listen to this race now. This race for, well, of course, Penelope Beckers Robinson is the only nominee for political leader, right?
Yeah.
Chairman is Farai Hove Masaisai, Marvin Gonzalez, who's an MP, and Chinua Allen, who's the mayor of Port of Spain. That'll be an interesting race for chairman. So Carl Mimbert is no longer vying for position, I should tell you that. Right? Yay! Vice chairman position.
You would see from the back.
Clifford Selvin Nicholas, today's your birthday too. Happy birthday, Selvin Nicholas. My apologies, I missed that one. Happy birthday, Selvin Nicholas. He's also from Mayaro, I think. Vice chairman position is Esau Mohammed, Paula Gopi Schoon, that surprised me, Emery Brown, and Muhammad Yunus Ibrahim. Muhammad Yunus Ibrahim was the former vice president of the Senate who contested Salmon Barataria's seat. Emery Brown, of course, we know who Emery Brown is. Paula Gopi Schoon, we know who she is, former minister. And Esau Mohammed, I think he was a former local government candidate. I don't know if he held any other position. But there are 4 people vying for the position of vice chairman. Lady vice chairman now, Camille Robinson Regis is not contesting, right? She is the current lady vice chairman.
Why is there a position called lady vice chairman?
Yeah, there is a position called lady because
I
they're in charge
know.
of the
I'm
women's
asking,
league.
why do you all still have a position called lady vice chairman?
Because we still have a grouping called the Women's League, and this person is the de facto head of the
Women's League. Is that what it is?
Yes, head of the Women's League. Mm-hmm. So, lady vice chairman position is contested by Donna Cox and Nyan Gadsby Dolly, right? Who is the current chairman, well, standing in as chairman. So Donna Cox is back. She's back contesting a position. And
So wait, so Nyan Gatsby Dolly isn't going up for chairman?
No, she isn't. Chairman, I don't know. It's 3 men: Paraiho Masaisai, Marvin Gonzalez, and Chinua Allen. In the position of General Secretary, Roger Boyens, he is contesting General Secretary. Foster Cummins, who is the current General Secretary, and Tovalin Sandy, who was a local government councillor. They are the 3 contestants for thing. Now the big race is in social media officer. That has 5 people. Simon Dinobrega, who's the member of parliament for Diego Martin Central. Runako Williams, I don't know that person. Dominic Romain, who is the current member of parliament for Malabar Mautica. Crystal Howard, I don't know who that is either. And Sean Dubé, I don't know who that is. Right? So they are the combatants for social media officer, which was recently held by Kwesi Robinson. Right? Faris Al-Rari is contesting again as public relations officer against 2 people whom also I don't know, Christopher George and Lizette Weeks. Treasurer Nal Ramsing and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis used to be a councillor in Arima Borough Corporation, and Nal Ramsing is well known in business circles. So those are some of the positions. Oh, let me go to the other page and give people.
Ramsing, but he's Ramsing from which business? Is that from
the sports business? I think it's a sports world.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think it's a sports world. I'm not sure. An elections officer, Leslie Lynch, who is from San Fernando, Sanjay Buru, Indar Parasram, and Terence Bipat. Right? Richard, you sent the link for Richard Walcott?
No, I told you to send it.
Yeah, but when I sent it, it went blank. I don't know why. So,
send it in WhatsApp?
Send it in WhatsApp. I can send it in WhatsApp?
Yeah, of course.
Send it for me. Send it for me, please.
I can't send it to you WhatsApp. You could send it in WhatsApp.
All right. You have it on
It's in the group, you know. Remember, I would have sent it there.
You did?
Yeah.
You know, I don't learn all these things. Now that I'm a boss now.
It's basically called copying and pasting, you know. Even teenagers could do it. Even primary school students could do it, Wendell.
Now that I'm a boss.
Copy and pasting.
Now that I'm a boss, I don't know.
You're a boss because you could copy and paste?
No, I'm a boss because you give me privileges that I didn't previously have. I'm kind of gobsmacked, as the woman say about married Miss Mischievous. She said I'm gobsmacked. Richard joined this link. So I'm just telling Richard Walcott to join the link so he can give us a better sense of what I was doing just now. Right?
You sent it to his WhatsApp?
Yeah, sent it to his WhatsApp.
Okay. So tell him just ignore the time. All you're really sending is the link and he could join us.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for him to join us, because he's what exactly in the PNM? The PNM have so many positions. Oh, good.
Well, his official position is chairman of the Sawa and Laventille Regional Corporation. That's what he is. Yeah. And he is chairman of the Election Supervisory Committee. Right?
There's too much titles, my brain clouded. But I mean, in terms of all of the different positions you had there, it's like are those paid positions? Curiously, are those paid positions?
You'll have to ask Richard that, yes? You'll have to ask Mr. Walker.
You don't know? You're in the belly and butts of PNM for decades.
No, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, the only paid position in the PNM, I may be wrong, but I have to go back all the way to the days of Martin Joseph, was General Secretary. I think that started to be a paid position after a while. Because you're already there whole day running Bali's house. Right? The other position,
the house is a lot to run because it looks like you're all going to have tenants and stuff like that, not so.
Yeah, well, all that.
Because the building is huge.
It is a huge building, but the new Bali's house is a very impressive building too. It's a very nice building. If you've not gone inside as yet, you should go.
No, I haven't had the privilege of going inside. No.
You should go.
Yeah, yeah. Just show up and say I come to see the Bali's house.
Yes, you come to do a tour. You're from Net Radio.
Could I see your party card? I'm sorry, I have none.
Headlines, headlines. We're running. When Richard, headlines,
Yeah.
or the PNM thing is the headlines.
Well, the PNM thing is one of the headlines. It's actually on the
on
front
all the
page.
paper.
It's on the front page of most of the newspapers this morning. But of course, how they phrased it, and I'll tell you now, in the Newsday, Penny goes unchallenged is the way they put it. So I suppose people were waiting to see whether Stuart Young would have filed papers for the political leader of the PNM. But I think probably was advised to wait it out.
Well, he did issue a statement early yesterday saying that he is not contested.
Okay.
He's not fighting.
He still has to come on the show. I forgot to ask him when I saw him. But anyway, Plebdeco VP fired after lawsuit threat. That's also on the front page. And the main picture is that of dancers from the Wassapoil Performing Company performing during the Emancipation Support Committee's African fashion show, Iwa African 25 Conscious Threads at Queen's Hall. And on the back page, members muzzled. Cricket officials say TTCB meetings run like a dictatorship, and West Indies T20 squads named for England and Ireland series, both places that now require visas from us. The Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. I find that something they should tackle because, I find that whole issue of having a visa to go UK very, how should I say it? What's the way should I say it?
Yes.
Yeah, being a former colony, it's damn nonsense.
It's nonsense, yes.
It's damn nonsense.
I was
organized here in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
take it however you get it. Anyway, let's move on. Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Refunds for cartel show online ticket outlets to repay patrons after pullout of headline acts. The Deco fires 2 executives amid board impasse. So there's some bacchanal going on with Deco. Stuart not contesting any PNM post. And Penny unopposed. And there's a picture of Penelope Black Girls Robinson's looking victorious. And on the back page, York's Warriors in ready mode. We still have to get Dwight York on the show. And Wendell is doing nothing. And you can get his number.
Dwight York, I'll get his number.
Yeah, let's try and get him on the show. Let's talk football. What our odds are for World Cup? I know a lot of people I've spoken to are football fanatics are not very optimistic. But let's, see if we can become optimistic. Penny leads PNM. That's the front page of the Daily Express this morning. Unchallenged for political leader. There's a picture for holding up something. Plebdeco chairman fires 2 managers. What is that Plebdeco bacchanal? We have to, it's a bacchanal, so we have to get into it.
There's a company still called Plebdeco?
Yes, and the chairman fires 2 managers as a bacchanal.
Okay.
And we love a little bacchanal on this show. Buyers
I've
of
heard
e-tickets.
the word Plebdeco for a while.
Yeah, buyers of e-tickets to cartel show to benefit refunds for fans. And Jolene hits the ground running. Minister targets infrastructure projects. I'm not so sure which projects because, the Express does news on the back now too. West Indies seeking consolation win, all about pride. Holder Russell return as West Indies announced squads for England, Ireland, and T20 series, and TTCB to hold media briefing to clarify misinformation. All of that's in your 3 dailies this morning. So now you know. Now we can open up the line, of course. Huh?
Could you see if Richard joined us?
Yes, he did, actually.
All right. So let's do a quick 5 minutes with him now. He's in his car. Good morning, Chairman Walcott.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Richard.
Hi, good morning.
And Sir Charles, we have Sir Charles also.
Sir Charles, good morning, sir.
Morning to you, sir.
Right. So just give us Richard, of course. Richard, what is your position with the supervisory committee?
I'm the chairman of the supervisory committee. All
right. So how
you're the head honcho? You're the head honcho about this whole enterprise that's taking place on the 22nd of June.
I'm just the chairman.
You're like Narcissus Scope in a kind of way, but for a bigger thing, because you don't pay them bigger than the country in a kind of way, huh?
You mean just before the other day? We were.
It's what you call a sleeping giant.
Yeah. So give us a sense of what happened yesterday and how did it go, and some of the combatants and so on.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we had the nomination day, for the internal election, which started at 9 a.m. and completed at 5 p.m. yesterday. We had a smooth day. What was amazing is that we had 51 person filing papers for 16 positions. And it shows that the party is alive, it's moving, people are ready to work to ensure that our party is back into its rightful place in governance. So it was a beautiful day yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it was very obvious, Chairman Walcott, that Colm Imbert, who held the position of chairman and most recently vice chairman, did not file nomination papers, and so too did some other people who we thought may have filed.
Yes, there was no nomination filed by Mr. Imbert and some of the incumbents.
Yes, including Jennifer Baptiste Primer. She also did not file nomination papers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there is still some dissent in the PNM's infrastructure, at least because they had this group called the Change Makers, I think it is. And of course, we crafted a song for them. Wendell insisted that they have a song, so we did it. And so I don't know if there is some reluctance from some people to file nomination papers because of the ongoing internal dissent. Did you see any of that dissent in terms of what took place?
Not at all. Not at all. I saw persons, and what was amazing is that a number of young people, came out and filed papers. I didn't see anything like that at all yesterday. I saw persons coming out to work for their party.
So is it possible then that the group that's secretly calling themselves change makers may also be a part of the process?
I can't say. I don't know who are the change makers. I can't say.
All right. Are there slates, or is it that everyone filed individually?
There was one slate, and that was led by Mr. Musasai. He had one slate. I think it's just 6 persons. That's the only slate I saw yesterday.
Okay. All right.
So everything is in place for the 22nd of June, right?
Everything is in place for the 22nd of June. Each constituency, there'll be polling station in the 41 constituencies. These polling stations will be run by the constituencies themselves. They will be providing the presiding officers, ballot, poll clerks, everything. They will be doing so. And what we will be doing at the Election Supervisory Committee is supervising the process. At the end of the day, when polls close, polls open at 8 and close at 6. At the end of the day, count will start and you will have the results on the night of the 22nd.
I was asking Wendell, Richard, whether any of these positions are paid positions, and he wasn't sure.
Beg pardon?
Whether any of the positions, the executive positions, are actually paid positions.
Paid? No.
So they're all voluntary?
Voluntary, yes.
Including General Secretary?
As far as I know, including the General Secretary.
Okay, I may have been wrong there. So the election results will be announced the same night, or is it being announced at the convention a week later?
No. It will be announced on the same night, the 22nd.
Oh, okay, all right.
What's the kind of numbers in terms of people who are entitled to vote? Would you have that off the top of your head?
All members of the PNM are entitled to vote, and we have over 100,000 members of the PNM. All are entitled to vote at the elections.
What do they have to present when they're going to vote, though? Do they have to present something?
Yeah, you present your ID card or your party card. Once your name is on the list, there's a voters list with all party members. Once your name is on the list, you are a member of the party, you're entitled to vote. But let me tell you something, if you have persons who have left the party to join another party or a candidate for, whether it was a candidate for another party, you cannot participate in the elections. Once you do that, you're automatically expelled from the party. So those
So Kennedy, Swarat Singh and John Jeremy can't come and vote in the PNM
They
election.
cannot, no. Once they associate themselves with another party, they are automatically disqualified and they cannot partake in the elections.
All right, so I better hold off what I wanted to do until then. That's just a joke, eh? All right, Mr. Walcott, thank you very much for giving us an update on the upcoming PNM internal election.
Thanks for having me and have a pleasant morning, gentlemen.
Yes.
All right, thank you a lot.
Thank you. Take care.
Of course, that was Richard Walcott.
Yeah, Richard.
I am surprised that the change makers have not surfaced. I'm not just surprised, I'm kind of disappointed in them.
I'm not surprised.
Looking for bacchanal, Sir Charles. But maybe they are there. Maybe they are there in some of the representatives who have gone.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because they're anonymous, so you don't know them. And y'all, and I know we're going to take some calls at this point before we enter our morning poll. And Wendell, I have absolutely no morning poll. And at this point, I had one for yesterday, but it can't be used for today because it's part of the thing. But but in honor of the change makers, I like to.
I used to.
I'll be waiting for calls. We can put the change makers theme song in the background. We don't know they have a theme song yet.
We could ask about the PNM. Let me provoke big guys some more this morning. Far Rockaway, sorry. Some more this morning. We could ask about the process. Do you think that the process for the PNM elections will be free and fair?
What about, are you surprised if that's your wrong, did not...
I thought about that.
That might be a more nationally relevant one.
that Penelope Beckers Robinson is unchallenged for political leader.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, we could ask that. Yeah. See how we do it tomorrow morning.
So while Richard sorts it out, we could take a couple calls, and we have a caller there already. So, morning to you, caller.
Morning, Sir Charles. Morning Richard.
Abby.
Morning, Wendell. I probably missed a question. I missed probably an answer that he gave. For how long will be for other positions, not the political leader? 3 years, 5 years? Wendell, I'm asking. Thank you.
The political leader position is 4 years, and I think each other position, I think it's a question that, yes, true, we could ask. I can ask him actually online and give you the answer, right?
Okay, that'd be nice. Caller, morning to you.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Virginia front and center. Hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with change makers. They have spoken loud and clear. And you know what? As far as this internal elections is concerned, Wendell, I want to ask you, why aren't they tabulating the ballots the very same day? And I'm not being conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat here. I'll listen over for you.
But that's what he said. He said it will be announced the same night.
Yeah, he said that in Virginia. He said the same night you will get the results.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I was the one who thought that they were announcing the results a week later, but he said they're going to announce it the same night.
Yeah.
I hope he got that.
Yeah, I'm sure that he did. I'm sure that he did.
Alistair Hart, I totally agree with you.
All right. Caller, morning to you. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Hi, good morning.
I finally got on.
Oh, Miss Deco Martin?
Yes, it is. I told you last time, Paul, as you open the line. Amen, I got on.
Nice to have you.
Yes, oh gosh, it's good to hear you all. Anyway, I've been listening. I want to congratulate Mrs. Penelope Beckers Robinson on her achievement yesterday. I welcome a female leader in the party. So, Miss Robinson, I give you my support And I love how you said when you were interviewed, you will not be opposing for opposing sake. I love that statement you made. So congratulations once again. And Richard, I want to find out, when somebody is paid to perform and they don't perform and they get half the money, do they have to pay it back?
I have no clue.
That
would be part of your contractual arrangement, I assume, whether that fee is refundable or not, depending on any issue. I assume the contract would be involved and have that kind of language in it. But I don't know. I mean, I have never done shows like that, so that's a different level. But I assume contracts will have clauses that will govern all sorts of eventualities.
Okay, thank you.
All right. It's like going for your American visa. If you get it or you don't get it, you don't get your money back.
Nobody in a situation like that it's not like that, It all depends on who's at fault. If it was no fault of the artist, well, then he doesn't have to pay it back. But if it was his fault, like he just couldn't make it or he just didn't show up, you have to give back the people the money.
Okay, well, there you go. You got it from a professional who would have brought down people already.
That go to court. And you see, even the financiers outside now asking for money too, eh?
Let's get to our morning poll.
About some show somewhere else.
Yeah, let's get to our morning poll because both
Just
of
before
them.
you go, I have the call in, so let me take this caller quickly and then
we'll be late with our poll.
I know.
You do what you feel.
Good morning, very quickly.
Good morning. I just want to make one quick point about an article in Newsday put up on the paper on the front page yesterday. Not in Newsday, the Guardian put up on the front page yesterday. The Guardian said the Minister of Finance is investigating the 100,000 US dollar currency and with Vibes Cartel. But they put up a picture of Vibes Cartel. Do any one of you all know who the promoter of the party is?
What party?
No, the concert.
The concert. Yeah, the concert.
Yes.
No, we don't know who's the consortium.
Nobody knows who had the 100,000 US dollars. But they put up, you demonize, and I got from very good sources, it's not an African person. But nobody knows who the promoter of the party is. They didn't put up his picture who had the $100,000, but they put up Vibes Cartel picture on the front page and a code that the minister investigating US currency. Why the papers always does that? They demonize the black man, and the black man had nothing to do with it. All he do is receive the money. That most likely he has to pay back. I'm sure there's a clause that if the contract didn't happen, he gets to retain some money. I'm sure there's a clause about that. Almost positive he ain't get to keep all that money.
But first of all, I don't even know why they're investigating it. If it's a private enterprise, it's you. If somebody had the US, and even if it's a foreign company that deciding they're paying the US because they see it as a business venture, that's what it is.
Yeah. But can I hear you?
But the investigation is by the Finance Ministry of Finance. I don't understand it.
Rubbish. But I understand where Lincoln's point of view is that why you putting up Vibes Cartel picture. He had nothing to do with the investigation or the 100,000 US. Why you putting up his picture? Anyway, we have some votes coming in already. Richard, you ready?
Yeah, but could you tell people what the poll is, Wenda?
Were you surprised or are you surprised that Penelope Beckles-Robinson was unopposed as political leader of the PNM? That's our poll this morning, right? Were you surprised? Terence Roach says no, Wayne Joseph no, Andrew Joseph no, Ava Smith no, Joyce Phillip no, Carol Guevara no. Keep voting, people. We are going to count your vote after the news, which is in 2 seconds time. Dwayne Sylvester, no. Gregory Boyer, no. Oh, lots of votes. Rena Jennings, no. Emma Bain, no. Jason Samuel, no. Marlon Motley, no. Those are all. Miguel Gonzalez also says no. Those are all our votes so far, and the change makers tune rings out in the background. Child of God, no. The theme song for a lot of unknown people is playing at this very moment.
We give them a theme song. Nobody else did that.
I'll do 2 more before we break for the news. Josh
All right.
Richardson, no. and Jillian Dick, no. All right? So we go break for the news, and when we come back, Maite
Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Yeah, she'll be on, but after we give the poll results. So continue to vote. Were you surprised that Penelope Beckers-Robinson was unopposed as political leader of the PNM? That's our poll for this morning. Continue to vote while we go to our news at this point. And of course, we'll be back right after the news headlines and the news update for today, Tuesday, 3rd of June.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is your news update for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. I am Amanda Mitchell with New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The People's National Movement held its internal election nomination day yesterday, with 51 party members offering themselves for various leadership positions. According to the Election Supervisory Committee, opposition leader Penelope Beckles was the sole nominee for political leader and was therefore nominated unopposed. The nomination process ran from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and was described as constant and smooth. Other contested positions include chairman, with candidates Farai Hove Masaisal, Marvin Gonzalez, and Chinua Aleni; vice chairman, with 5 nominees including Esau Mohammed, Paula Gopi Schoon, and Dr. Amory Brown; and general secretary with Roger Boynes, Foster Cummings, and Tova Lynn Sandy vying for the position. The successful nominees will compete in elections on Sunday, June 22, 2025. The judiciary has denied claims by Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander that police stations are functioning as courtrooms, stating instead that accused persons are simply placed before computers for virtual appearances. However, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social Welfare Association President ASP Gideon Dixon strongly disagreed, arguing that police stations are effectively being turned into courtrooms. When station spaces have to be converted from virtual spaces for the court to carry out its duty, it simply means all the commotion, all the activities within a station environment must cease, Dixon said. He questioned the judiciary's claim that the TTPS had declined to staff courts, calling the assertion unfamiliar and noting that dedicated court staff continue to perform their duties despite staffing shortages. Island E-Tickets has announced full refunds for patrons who purchased tickets for the Vibes Cartel concert through their platform. In a media release yesterday, the company confirmed that 3 headline performers who were advertised to appear did not perform at the One Caribbean Music Festival. We are deeply disappointed that the experience delivered did not match what was promoted to the public, the company stated. Refunds will be processed automatically to the original payment method over the next 5 to 7 business days, and customers who don't see funds reflected by June 17th should contact support. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs continues to monitor the pause on U.S. student visa issuance, confirming that Trinidad and Tobago students who have already secured visa appointments will have them honored as scheduled. The ministry stated that the temporary suspension of new applications for F1, M1, and J1 visas does not signify a change in U.S. student visa policy toward Trinidad and Tobago. This situation constitutes a short operational pause, the ministry said, adding that it remains hopeful for a swift resolution once the ongoing internal review by U.S. authorities is complete. Police are investigating a shooting in La Horquetta that claimed the life of 26-year-old Omari McEachnie and injured a 31-year-old woman. The incident occurred around 10:35 p.m. Sunday along Charlie Davis Street, Phase 4, when a white Nissan Tiida drove up and several gunshots were fired from the vehicle. Both victims were seated outside a shop when the attack occurred. The woman, who sustained gunshot wounds to both legs, is in stable condition at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. Crime scene investigators recovered 45 spent 9mm shell casings, 3 live rounds, and other evidence. Current high concentrations of Saharan dust are expected to continue until Wednesday morning, according to the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service. By late morning Wednesday, there should be a reduction to generally moderate concentration, with further reduction to mild to moderate by late afternoon. However, from late morning Thursday, concentration is likely to rise again to generally moderate for the rest of the week. Despite the dust, another tropical wave has been analyzed in the eastern Atlantic, and its presence may be felt by Thursday into Friday. You are listening to news on New Era TT Radio. In international news, Microsoft founder Bill Gates says most of his fortune will be spent on improving health and education services in Africa over the next 20 years. Speaking in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, the 69-year-old announced that by unleashing human potential through health and education, every country in Africa should be on a path to prosperity. Gates announced last month that he would give away 99% of his vast fortune, which he expects to reach $200 billion by 2045. The Gates Foundation said it had 3 priorities: ending preventable deaths of mothers and babies, ensuring the next generation grows up without deadly infectious diseases, and lifting millions out of poverty. At the end of 20 years, the foundation will sunset its operations, it stated. That concludes your news update for today. I'm Amanda Mitchell for New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The Breakfast Show with Wendell, Richard and Sir Charles continues right after this short break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to stay engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
This summer, give your child skills of a lifetime with several boot camp. Children between the ages of 5 to 17, come enjoy Children Iron Chef Competition. Your child will learn to prepare healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, CPR, first aid, and conflict management. With field trip, your child will be given free apron and certification upon completion. Call 492-7397 or 336-4935. Institute of Health and Fitness Company Limited, located at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Puna.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Temperature rising, I'm sweating, I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Heat in the body, summer weather, taking that toll on me. Don't want no fan, no AC to cool me down. There's only one remedy I want right now. Bring the water, wet me down. Bring the water, wet me down. Turn up the pressure, is that I desire. One thing give me pleasure when I in heat. Boy, come soak me good, come soak me good. Wet me down, soak me good. Come soak me good, wet me down, soak me good. Come soak me good, wet me down, soak me good. Come soak me good, wet me down, come wet me, I in heat. Come wet me down, come soak me, head to feet. Come wet me, I in heat. Come soak me, head to feet.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Turn on the water and wet me down like rain.
Talk about heat, wet me down.
Boy, no
Hey everybody, welcome inside our number 2 of the breakfast show. This is New Era TT Radio. I'll be glad to be here with you this morning. Alright, and there's Patrice in the background there talking about heat. I wonder what the weather is going to be like for today.
Good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago. This is your weather update for Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 2025 from New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. Today we're looking at fair, hazy, and at times breezy conditions, interrupted infrequently by light showers in confined areas. This pleasant pattern extends to the remainder of the Lesser Antilles as well. An important note for our listeners, Sahara dust is present in our atmosphere. Persons sensitive to changes in air quality should take the necessary precautions to protect their respiratory health. Temperature-wise, Trinidad can expect a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius today, with a minimum of 26 degrees Celsius. In Tobago, the maximum will reach 31 degrees Celsius, with a minimum of 27 degrees Celsius. With humidity factored in, the heat index will make it feel like 36 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and 35 degrees Celsius in Tobago, so please remember to stay hydrated throughout this warm day. Sea conditions are moderate with wave heights of 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and 1 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. The sun rose this morning at 5:42 and will set at 6:25 this evening. For those planning maritime activities today, high tides in Port of Spain will occur at 9:55 this morning and 10:53 tonight, with low tides at 3:53 early this morning and 4:19 this afternoon. In Scarborough, high tides will be at 10:11 this morning and 11:03 tonight, with low tides at 4:12 early this morning and 4:36 this afternoon. This has been your weather update for today. Enjoy the generally fair conditions, but remember to take precautions if you're sensitive to the Saharan dust in our atmosphere. From all of us at New Era TT Radio and M&E TV, have a wonderful Tuesday.
San Fernando, we're here. The wait is over. The indisputable #1 comedy of 2025, Married and Mischievous, is in San Fernando for one night only at Sapa. Sunday, June 8th at 6:30 p.m. One show only. Tickets available at K Squared Fashion, C3 Center in Brentwood Mall, Fens by the Roundabout in Maraval, and at the Sapa box office 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily from Monday, 2nd of June. Married and Mischievous, one night only at Sapa, Sunday, June 8th. Strictly adults only. Don't miss it. S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Great news, Caribbean. The Breakfast Show is now on M&E TV, bringing you entertaining conversations, vital information, and influential perspectives throughout Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean region. Catch us on Digicel Channel 20, Flow Channel 111, Amplia Channel 117, Blink Channel 109, Trico Channel 154, and Airlink Channel 10. The Breakfast Show connects with the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago like never before. We're now on M&E TV. Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, so we are back in the second hour of the Breakfast Show. And of course, we'll just take some of your votes and close off on our morning poll for this morning before we get into our interview with Miss Montenegro. I'll bring her into the studio. She's already backstage waiting. If you can give me whatever votes you all have for the morning show, the morning poll. Sorry, I said morning show.
All right.
Morning poll.
I can continue from 7:01 a.m. Julia Batiste, no. Ian Robley, no. Anthony Atwell, no. Michael Robinson, no. Cheryl Henry, no. Beauty Culture, no. Brennan Smith, no. Andre Reno, no. Chevon Shogun, no. That's it. What I have online. I don't know. So, and Cheryl M, no. Sorry.
Okay, so I have Pauline saying yes, Sexy Reds saying no, Anand saying yes, Frank saying no, Valerie Dabiri saying no, and Afia Lashley, good morning to you, Afia, saying no.
All right.
And that's it. The polls are closed now.
All right, so our poll this morning was, were you surprised that Penelope Beckles Robinson was unopposed as political leader of the PNM? We had 31 people voting in the allotted time this morning. Of the 31 of you voting, 29 of you said no. You were not surprised that she was unopposed, and 2 of you said yes. You were kind of surprised. Maybe you thought that Stuart Young would have thrown his hat into the ring, so to speak. So 39 of you said no, and 2 of you said yes. You were surprised. So that's it for our morning poll this morning. Of course, we now move to our Let's Talk segment. And of course, this is where we will bring in Miss Montenegro, and we'll be talking about her musical career in Latin America. Let's get to our Let's Talk segment.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, Miss Montenegro, are you there?
Hi. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show on New Era TT Radio. And
Thank you
for
so
joining.
much. I'm glad
Yeah.
to be here with you all. How are you all? Good morning.
Morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
You know, first of all, I suppose we should get pronouncing your name out of the way, because I wasn't sure whether it was Maite.
Okay. No, it's Maite Montenegro.
Maite Montenegro.
Montenegro with O, no? Yes.
Oh,
With the O. Okay. Montenegro. All right. I like that.
Montenegro. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us. You know, we wanted to play some of the music, but of course we can't because it'll be copyrighted and YouTube will give us a strike. So we said, if it's anything, you will sing a cappella at some point for us during the interview. But, you know, give us a sense, because I know you are part Colombian, part Trini. And so give us a sense of what your experience was like in terms of navigating both countries that gave birth to your music career, and how has that colored your career?
Okay, being in 2 countries almost at the same time is like crazy and so good, because it's a different culture, it's a different language, and it's a different way or place to be in. So when I was possibly 7 or 6 years old, I went to Trinidad to study in Blacksman School in Maraval. And I studied there like almost 1 year or 6 months. So that's where I learned how to speak English, 1. And 2nd, I stayed there for a time. And then I come back to Colombia because from 10 years old, I went to a reality show, and that's get me like popular here. And actually, I'm into that both places. I'm here in Colombia. Some people know about me. I put music in Spanish, but what I wanted is to put music in English, actually, for the Caribbean and for my people, because I have 2 homes, Colombia and Trinidad. And actually, yesterday I reached back from Trinidad, so I think this month I'm going to go back, possibly in the final of the month or something like that. So, yeah.
So you're born Colombian.
Yeah. I'm born in Colombia, and I've been traveling to Trinidad a lot, actually.
Well, you know, the Trinidadian accent is actually, you're hearing it. You're hearing the Trinidadian accent.
What from you all? Yes.
Yeah, when you say I born and I travel, you know, things like those kind of words.
My family tell me so, actually. They say, Maite, I think you have a Trini accent, and I say, it's possibly, but that's nice.
And I say, yeah, just now again.
So you're in Colombia right now?
Yes, I'm in Colombia right now. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So give us a bit of your musical journey, because I know you would have started off as a child and you came, was it the young, well, I'm translating, is it the young voice, the young voices?
La Voz Kids, the Voice Kids, actually.
The Voice Kids. Right. So that's the famous The Voice competition, but the Voice Kids version in Colombia.
Yes, it's a TV show competition, actually. I was 10 when I get into it and I get to the finals. I don't win, but everybody in Colombia says no. Somebody robbed you. So
what you came? You came second.
Yeah. I came second, and everybody said no. They rob you. So to now, they still say that when they see my videos, that they're going to comment, "He robbed you, girl. You have to come back," and those kind of things. So yes, it was like something important here, because it is a TV show for a reality for children to go and sing and show their talent. So I went there and I do like history, because everybody reminds me from that moment. And after that, I've been like doing music. I have like 7 songs, 7 singles, and now my most recent album, that names is Protagonist. That's the name in English. In Spanish is Protagonista, and kind of in Spanish, but I'm working in my English album, like I told you all. And what I think is to come back to Trinidad. If I before come like more often now, to be there. So I went to Trinidad the last week. I do an interview in a TV show, I think, and I've been singing in places. So that's all. I'm trying my best. Let's see what God's give us.
What inspired you to start that career? Was it someone in the family, or who or what inspired you?
I don't know. I don't really know. I think when I was like 5 or 6, I just have something that I like too much about art, about, I don't know, something that comes without, like music. So I always like to create. I always like to think. I always like to dance. So it's something like, nobody tell me, okay, you have to be a singer. No, I just tell my parents, Daddy, Mommy, I want to sing. I want to be a singer. And they say, all right, child, let's do it. Let's do it. So we'll be working on that from a few years, possibly professional, like 6 years, but before that, like 3 years being in places and singing, being actually nobody was just like 9 years old or 8 years old singing in places. So that's my life. I choose it. Nobody tell me you have to be that. No, I choose what I wanted to. I'm glad my parents helped me.
But that's fantastic, because a lot of times when children, at least in a Trinidad and Tobago perspective, when children are getting into performing or creative ventures, sometimes parents are a little, I don't know if that's the correct journey for you. They give you that kind of sentiment because they are afraid that how successful you would be. And, people come with that kind of, at least in a Trinidad context. I don't know if it's different in Colombia. But certainly
it's the same, actually, because, yes, it's the same.
But certainly you had very supportive parents. And I know your father, Mario Merritt. He's a very celebrated attorney in Trinidad. So I know your dad. So but in terms of that musical journey, I know you did a concert recently. Was it recently with Nyla Blackman? And were you in concert with her at one point?
Not recently at all. It was a few years ago when I was starting in Trinidad, actually, in my music. But yes, I do so. And I sing with her. She was starting to in the music, but yes, I do so. And I sing with another people. I don't really remember the name now because I have a bad memory, even though in Spanish. So. But yes, I've been doing like things to help my career to grow up. And coming back of what you said, I think that children get so worried about what they want to be when they go out of school and they go to the university. But I think you will have to choose something you like. I don't care what it is. It's so important that you have to choose something you like, because you're going to do that the rest of your life. So please choose something that makes you happy to do every day. My father loved to be an attorney. So I'm sure he made the right choice, and he actually studied for a lot of things, biology and things, not the things before, but when he studied law, he see it as though it's his passion. So people go and find your passion and try because yeah, I feel when you go out of school, you don't know what to do because what you know to do is like school things, but berated things, not something special. So please, from before, start to try things and do things and find out what's your passion.
Outside of Colombia, Miss Montenegro, where and well, I guess on Trinidad and Tobago, have you been performing in other jurisdictions?
If I've been performing here in Colombia, yes, of course.
No, outside of Colombia and Trinidad and
Oh,
Tobago.
outside of Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, kind of. I think in Ecuador, I think, but it's not something like I'm growing up. Growing up. Step by step. Sorry, step by step.
Okay.
But more in Colombia and Trinidad. Those two places. Possibly Ecuador and some kind of, but not like just a show at all. But I'm working for that. So.
Okay. All right.
Are you planning any collaborations with, or have you considered any collaborations? I shouldn't say planning. Have you considered any collaborations with Trinidad and Tobago artists in terms of the future? Is it something you'd be interested in?
Yes, I have a song that even in English, and he's a friend of mine, an artist that names is Marcus Brit Boy. He's in the song, so in the future, in a few months, you're going to listen to the song. Actually, I'm going to put it out like a single. So yeah, I consider that, and I would love to do more collaborations with Trinidadians and Colombians too. So yeah.
And I know Marcus Brave Boy. So is it that is that one of your singles in your new album?
No, because I'm planning. No, this album is in Spanish actually. So to put it in Trinidad is not so easy because you know the language. So I was putting it for Colombia, and I have 8 songs in the album. 8 songs that I really love. That I direct musically. I take like 3 days, go with composers, and we made this song. So it's a big work to do, but that's what I plan to do with the English ones. I was planning to take out the album too, but I will do the same thing, 3 days, and we do songs, and after I take it, but like singles, and I hope people like it, and I hope I can sing and share with all the Trini people. Yeah.
But so I gather so far you mostly sing in Spanish.
Yeah, I do. I do. That's my first language actually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
But you speak English very well.
Thank you so much.
You do.
I practice a lot with my dad.
Do you have a favorite song on your new album, Protagonista?
Yeah, you say well. If I have a favorite song, I don't know. I think Haters. I like Haters because that song actually talks about me, but in words of melody. I love Te Pido Perdón because each song have a different kind of genre. You have like pop, everything is pop, but pop ballad, pop like American pop, or I don't know. It's different kind of variation of a pop genre. So if you go inside, you can listen to with piano. You can listen another one with electric guitar. I have a song in genre, Colombian genre that calls salsa, and something that you call cumbia. It's a genre here in Colombia that's so popular, so that's why I put it there. But in terms of melody, Te Pido Perdón is the best one. But the one that's important of the album is the one that have the name of the album actually. It's Protagonist. So yes, I invite you all to go and listen to that. I love the songs actually, and we do it really fast, like in 1 month and a little bit more. We do like 10 songs, but I choose to put like 8.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I have a question before you move on. Maite, or Maite, what message, Maite, right? What message, or if you might call it a feeling, do you hope that people will take away when they listen to your music?
I think the message I want to give them all is to understand that your age is not a limit. You can do whatever you want to do, even though you're young, you're old. It's not the time. The time is important, but once you do what you love, once you do what you like, it's so important. You have to follow your heart, and actually, in life, you don't have a right or wrong answer. It depends of the thinking of the person. So, what's right for you, do it. If it don't hurt somebody, okay, that's nice. So you can do what you feel, what you wanted, and then the age is not a limit actually. And if you all hear the music, you can hear like the a part of the variety of genres. You can hear a different history about what happened in each song. What happened in each song? Something. The songs are for if you feel sad or if you feel angry or if you feel happy or if you feel like you need motivation. Each song is for that kind of thing. So you can hear the message because now everybody's putting songs that people like to dance to pass a good time, but they forgot that they have lyrics, and that's important. It's the message for the people. So, yeah.
Well, that's a good message. I mean, for a lot of young people listening, well, and older people too, because I don't you have older people who had a dream and they just didn't pursue it. They just, their life passed you by and they say, I wonder if I should have, or what would have happened if I
So
did.
please don't do that because you're going to live your rest of your life as though if I do this, what happened? If I try this, what happened? If I don't know, if I put more of my effort on that, what happened? No, do it. You have just one life. Live it.
He throwing words for me, Maite, because he know that I could have been a huge singing star also.
Oh, good. God, I did not mean that at all. He just looking to do a collab with you. But my but the only Spanish word he might know is buenos dias or adios.
Oh my word.
Now we can do it for the English world. I have no problem.
I'm a huge fan of Juan Luis Guerra. I'm a huge fan of him. I love listening to his music.
Of course.
But now that I know you, I will be listening to your music.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice to hear actually.
Of course.
Okay.
So Maite Montenegro, thanks so much for joining us this morning and having a conversation with us. Of course, I know we're going to have you back after the album is released and it starts to hit the top 10 in Colombia.
Before you
working for that, so I hope so.
Maite, before you go, I was just wondering, when you are not like into music or your music career or making the music or performing, what is something that might be totally unexpected or fun that you love doing?
That I love doing.
Especially in Trinidad. When you come to Trinidad, what do you like doing?
I like to pass time with people, but everything that I do, it's like with art. Everything that I do, it's with art, so it's difficult to answer that. But I think I like to fight, so be a lawyer, it's not bad.
What do you do for fun then? You like to hike?
Oh my God, it's hard to say that. Actually, for me, fun because I enjoy doing music. I enjoy do those kind of things. So it's not that I it's fun for me. I don't know. I like to pass time with my family. Doing what? I don't know. Whatever thing I'm doing, but with my family. If I share with them, nothing else is important.
Yeah, I can subscribe to that.
Yeah.
But you can't,
Family's important. Family's important.
Yeah.
You can't leave without giving us an a cappella version of your favorite.
Okay. I will give it of protagonist, the important one of the name of the album. So, right. Y deja atrás lo que no intentaste, súbete a aprovechar tu momento, es el momento. Si te caíste, ve a levantarte, Mira que el tiempo no hace lento, es el momento. That's the chorus.
Ooh, you have one of those voices. You have one of those voices that raises goosebumps, Maite.
Yeah, you have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But thanks so much for sharing a bit of your talent with us this morning. But I say thanks so much for sharing a bit of your talent with us this morning. You know, you could listen to more.
Yeah.
It was so short, you know. But thank you so much, Maite Montenegro, in terms of joining us this morning on the Breakfast Show. We appreciate it. And of course, when you hit #1 in Colombia, we'll have you back, which should be soon. And you can have all the boosting credits.
All right, I would love to meet you all in person, and thanks a lot for inviting me here, and I enjoy this time. I just think it was too short. I want to have a whole hour talking with you all. Just joking.
All
Thanks,
right, Maite.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.
Of course, Miguel is asking Richard that we put up her IG, YouTube, and other social media apps to connect with her online, so that our viewers and listeners can connect with Maite online.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, you can go. Yeah. Before I go, I can see it. You can go to YouTube for Maite Montenegro, my name. You can look at me like that, and Instagram and all the social media actually like that, like my name.
Okay.
So that's
Just
all.
Okay,
Maite Montenegro.
Maite Montenegro, yes,
Maite
official,
Montenegro.
yes, in Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook too. So yeah.
Okay, great.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much. And as Wendell will say the one word he knows in Spanish.
Adios. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay.
Gracias, Maite.
You're welcome. Okay, bye. Have a nice rest of the day.
I've been to Colombia once, but it's Cartagena. I've never been to other parts of Colombia. I've always wanted to visit to do a whole Colombia, but Colombia is huge, yeah. But I've done Cartagena. Beautiful voice, eh? That is goosebumps type of voice, you know.
Yeah, beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Nice, you know what? When your career could start to take off, or you know, at that age that she's at, that's a wonderful thing for her.
Well, you know, I don't even know her age. I just
16. She's 16.
Oh, she's 16. Yeah. Oh wow! You know, I knew she was young, but I didn't realize she was that young. You know, and you know, it's not polite to ask people their age. You know, well, women that is.
No, but when you got a young artist like that, you can ask them. They're very, yeah, they would love to share that information with you.
Nice one. Okay.
So that was Maite Montenegro. So you could look her up on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. You know, listen to some of her music. Of course, The Voice Kids. She came second, and she did I think she did a cover of one of Beyonce's songs. I think. But it was viewed by over 16 million people. Huh?
Wow.
So she's an emerging young pop artist in Colombia, and of course, by extension, Latin America, but with TNT roots.
Well, so hopefully she could use this. She could use part of this interview too on her page, Richard. And next thing you know, we have 16 million people looking at us.
Yeah.
You know?
You mean we don't already?
Well, I would imagine we got 15,999,000. You know, we don't mind the 16 million.
There's still a few millions outside there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we still have some time that we can take some of your calls. We can open up the lines at this point, and get. Well, of course, you know there's always bacchanal happening in the PNM. We can discuss, but.
But I didn't finish. I could give you a sense also too of some of the other combatants for positions. Let me see. Let me find Nyron Beach pages. Nyron has sent me everything. You know. Morning, Nyron Bean. He is also contesting a position. Where is it? All right. So I gave you most of what who are contesting. The second page is elections officer, as I said, is Leslie Lynch, Sanjeev Budu, Indar Parasham, and Terence B. Pat. Field officer is Richard Thompson, Eric William Nolan Hopkins II, Nyron Bain and Curtis Shade. Welfare officer is Maxine Richards and Alicia Leger. As I said, I'm supporting Maxine all the way. I don't even know who Alicia is, but Maxine has done a fantastic job. The youth officer are three people whom I know. Josimar James, he's from the Port of Spain South area. Aben Phillips Brooks, a young attorney at law, who already reached out to me. And Kareem Marcel, who is a member of parliament for Laventille West. Operations officer is, of course, Irene Hines, who I will support. Eba Steele Atom, who has always contested that position. I like his perseverance. So Eba Steele, I'm sure you will when Irene walks away from it, if she does. And Stern Barnes, I don't know who that is. I don't know that name at all. Labor Relations Officer, Jennifer Batiste, is not contesting. So the four combatants are St. Clair O'Neill, Andrew Alves, who has always contested that position, David Tate, and Natasha Mohammed. And Labor Relations Officer 2, so I didn't even know there was a 1 and a 2. Labor Relations Officer 2 is Kenneth Dioraj and Wayne Granson. I suspect those are 6 people contesting one position. Right? So those are the combatants for the positions in the PNM. There is the only one that is unopposed is political leader. All the rest, there are competitions in all the other positions. All right. The Assistant General Secretary, the incumbent Patricia Alexis is going up against Malaika Blair. Malaika Blair was Deputy Mayor of San Fernando at one time, I think.
Yeah, I know Malaika.
Yeah.
I know Malaika. She used to work with me years and years ago.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So that's Assistant General Secretary.
Briefly.
Interesting. I wish them all the best. Laurel Azama Leasing is also not contesting any position. So Camille Robinson Regis, Laurel Azama Leasing, Jennifer Batiste Primus, Coleman Burt. Those are 4 people who currently held positions, and I think Quasi Robinson, who are not contested. So a lot of changes are going to happen at the PNM executive level, and we wish them all the best. We will speak with political leader-elect Penelope Beckers-Johnson, hopefully before the end of the week, right?
Because I think from tomorrow, I think we have Senator Lalit. Am I right, Sir Charles?
Yes.
Yes.
We have Senator Lalit tomorrow, who is of course, the independent senator from the Blind Welfare Association. She's in the Blind Welfare Association. Is she president?
No, she's not the president, but I don't know what other position she holds.
But she's an independent senator. So we'll have Senator Lalit on
visually impaired independent senator.
Independent senator.
Yeah. First visually impaired independent senator we have in the parliament. We are going to speak with her tomorrow, God willing. And we are also trying to get Minister Wayne Sturge back on the show.
But he wasn't available this week. He said so. He promised that he will come on, so maybe next week he'll be available. He said this week was going to be difficult for him, so he did communicate.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I hope it is not promises that never materialize.
He'll come, man.
Yeah, if he told me he'll come, he's gonna come.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, Sir Charles.
I'm hoping that we do. I'm hoping that we do. I find people within this administration kind of hard to find some of them,
Yeah, well, we have had 3 thus far, which is more than we had.
3 ministers too.
Yeah, more than we had from the PNM in the last round. Yeah. Of course, all them PNM go want to talk now, especially the ones who contest in positions. All of us, Simon Dinnerberger might actually make himself available to talk now. I'm waiting, I'm waiting on them, chat.
Yeah, but don't you find that in the government of itself of the day it's kind of quiet? and now coming in. I mean, when I look back on Donald Trump getting into office in the first month or two, I mean, it was ruction, it was all kind of thing happening. I find this government is kind of quiet.
Yeah, well, the prime minister seems to be ruling with a heavy stick, a heavy hand. This wrong. So again, as I say, I wish her all the best with that. But she seems determined to keep a stern hold on some of those ministers that she has there. She seems determined to do that. So I hope that works out for her. You understand?
All right, but we'll go to a short break, and when we come back, we'll take some of your calls.
San Fernando, we're here. The wait is over. The indisputable #1 comedy of 2025, Married and Mischievous, is in San Fernando for one night only at Sapper. Sunday, June 8th at 6:30 p.m. One show only. Tickets available at K Squared Fashion, C3 Center in Brentwood Mall, Fence by the Roundabout in Maraval, and at the Sapper box office 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily from Monday, 2nd of June. Married and Mischievous, one night only at Sapper, Sunday, June 8th. Strictly adults only. Don't miss.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box. All right, so we can open up our lines at this point at 281-1315, 281-1315. You can call us and get interactive with us on the program as we head towards 8 a.m. We're opening up the lines early today. So 281-1315, 281-1315.
Yeah. We are also reaching out to the chief executive officer. I don't know, I can't remember the exact handle of the judiciary concerning that issue with the courts in the police station. The judiciary would have issued a statement. So I have reached out to the person already, and they will get back to me before the end of the week, right?
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a spat taking place there.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's a cat fight yet, but it's a bit of a spat.
Yeah.
To and fro.
Yeah.
All right, caller is there. Caller, morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Morning, Richard and Wendell.
Good morning.
Morning, Zena.
Is that Zena?
And yes, and I noticed if I call all you can say hello and good morning because it then log up in front of all your face.
But we can't say good morning to you every morning.
Anyhow.
But we will try.
I said, we didn't hear me say either. All right. Well, say morning to Miss Susan Jessup and them every morning. I just wanted to raise an issue with Richard. Richard, you had an issue with why the Minister of Finance was getting involved with that money. But for somebody to receive $900,000 US, and then they wanted the balance in US as well on the spot before they sing. Where that kind of money coming from in our country that you can't get $100 US if you have to travel?
But it's none of the minister business.
But in any case, Vibes Cartel is not the first international artist to perform here. What do you think the other artists will pay with TT?
No, but it's something that with interest. I'm not saying you want it in cash, you know. This is what was the issue and contention from what I read. And
but with Zena, in all honesty, where people get the US from? Why is that as anybody concerned?
But what I'm saying for the kind of money that passes through this country, and if they're saying that it is in short supply, where person get it? Because I know if you had to pay for goods also from abroad,
You have to go through the bank to get money to pay.
Well, it depends on who the main sponsors were, because sometimes the sponsors,
that's
sometimes
somebody
the sponsors who paying that fee. And there's some companies in Trinidad and Tobago that earn more foreign exchange than they utilize. So they have foreign exchange bank accounts.
Yeah.
So you
You
have
not drive down by.
I'm just saying, I don't understand why the Minister of Finance is getting involved.
But let me ask you something. That is the kind of money that those artists ask for in the US.
Yes.
Well, I would really like to hear what he's singing.
But Vibes Cartel, I don't think Vibes Cartel is the most expensive artist.
Behind cut, they shouldn't get back their money.
No, and remember
when Beyoncé performed here, what do you think she was paid in TT?
Yeah. And remember when they had the Tobago, the first carnival situation thing, I think, and the pay burn up, how much millions to come? $6 billion.
Yeah. When Elton John and all of them came up with Jazz Festival, what do you think they got paid in TT?
I know, but you're passing that, you're giving them a check, I would expect, or some bank transaction. But I think the idea why the government got involved must be because of the questioning that he wanted it in cash, and so they was trying to question where somebody getting that kind of money in US dollars.
And the point we're making, Zina,
I think
the point we're making it is because of who it is. They associated him with a certain culture, with a certain character, and that is what is going on.
Yeah, and I don't know that Vibes Cartel wanted that money in cash, because how do you transport?
That's what.
I don't know if that is accurate. How do you transport 300,000 US in cash across
paying the balance?
That's not making sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that doesn't make any sense.
They say don't work so because remember you have to deal with bank and thing and stuff and so, but I don't know, but and I just found maybe it's because of the insistence that you want it in cash.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
All right.
And I'm saying wanting 300,000 US in cash would be a little incredulous, because that's not even a Trinidad and Tobago issue. That's a cross-border issue.
Yeah,
all countries have restrictions on how much cash you can transfer.
Maybe that is why, and maybe I'm saying maybe that is why the Minister of Finance and they got involved.
All right,
yeah, but we're saying we don't know that is true. I don't know where you're getting that from, but I'm saying I don't know that is true.
Let's get it.
That would be incredulous if it's true, because I don't know how you're carrying that into any country.
Exactly.
Good morning to you, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, it doesn't now engage it. Good morning to you, caller.
A blessed good morning, gentlemen, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. I don't know why you're taking up with this whole US. He's not the first artist to be paid in US. It's just that people surprised Cartel asking for $1 million US to perform. He will not be the only artist. Look, Keisha Cole came on just the other day. She sang 3 songs, $1 million she might get for that 3 songs.
True.
You understand? What about, and then I find the ministers and them shouldn't get involved with that, but it's a private thing. Because look when Angostura and Caribou had the millions of US when they're doing the business. They ain't investigating that part. Because what their business is. But when other people bring down artists and they pay them by US, they have a question mark over them.
And that is
but because of Cartel, come on. I mean, Mr. Office, but come on. I see nothing wrong with that. His business is business.
Okay.
He asks, that is his price, you pay him. And at the end of the day, before I perform, I want my money. I ain't getting wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if the Minister of Finance has some reason that we are not clear on, then fine. Then he needs to come on this program and talk and tell us why it is. I've reached out to him several times, but he did not say he's not coming. He said he will come eventually. So at the point that he does come, we could ask him and say, well, why will you? Maybe there is a valid reason. Maybe just not aware of it.
Beauty culture is suggesting earlier on, it should be of concern because of white collar crime. Now, if there's a crime being committed, fine, no problem. But as far as we are aware, if there's a crime, there's a financial
investigative unit that comes under office of the AG. It's not the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Who does only flag and don't lock up nobody?
They're flagging for years now. You know what thing they flag in this place?
But nobody ain't getting locked up.
You know what thing and people they flag over the last 15, 20 years?
Billions of dollars is flag every year.
Flag, wave your flag.
All
Wave
right.
your flag for Lara. Put up your flag for Lara.
Junebug say good morning to you, and she loves your background, and she's seen your face clearly now, so she's happy with that.
A little too clear now. Oh Lord, you've seen every mark on my face. As somebody tell me, you've seen every wrinkle on you now.
Oh my word!
I don't know what Richard, you using some kind of filter, and your face ain't so smooth.
Good on.
You have to teach me. You have to teach me what you're doing.
Let's CJ and them weighing about how smooth my face is.
Let me take the caller while you all debate that. Caller, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, so Charles. Morning, Richard. Morning, Wangasino. Morning.
Morning, Mr.
Patrick.
You know, I realize that a lot of people in Trinidad don't understand contracting. They don't understand contractual agreements. If I ask you for a certain amount of money to do something and you pay me part of the money, and I have agreed to get the rest of the money and you give me my money, I not performing. I know people lost money in the bank because they put on a certain amount of money to do a transaction, and there are a certain amount of day to do the rest, and they lost the money. You know what, right?
Yes.
Look, last week, we got that thing on the papers. With some Barona in the South trying to work out a contract and bring him in the court, and the court award the owner of the place $400,000 because the man breached the contract.
Yeah,
that
was with the nightclub.
Yeah, with nightclub. So people don't understand contract. If the man has $1 million and something US and they get him on $900 something $1,000, they complete the payment for the man. So the man have a reason why he could come out of the contract. I don't nothing to do the contract, dealing with lawyers. You understand? Well, God bless you.
Okay, thanks very much, Mr. Patrick. And I suppose artists and their management teams will have had good experience with promoters. When you finish performing, it's pressure to find them to get the rest of your money because the show ain't go too good and all that stuff. So people try and get all the money, you know.
Up front, yeah.
I reach, but before I go on the stage, I want the rest of my money, you know, especially if they feel that the show weak or something like that.
People don't understand the cultural world and the sporting world is awash with money, you know, and US dollars, you know. You see, sports and culture is awash with money, you know. You ever hear, even when we have economic downturns in the world, did you ever hear a sportsman getting less money, that they had to cut his pay or anything? So, and I'm talking sports in general, soccer, American football, basketball. Have you ever heard a man saying he had to get less money because of the economic downturn? No, they find the money to pay those people.
Yeah. Good morning, Dabity.
Yes, so Charles and Wendell and Richard again. So I would think that if you have been contracted, you will, and you get majority of your money, you have performed as it, the balance would be paid at the end of your performance.
No, some people contract. It all depends on what you put.
This show, if you like that with parties and concerts.
Dabby, it all depends on what is put in the contract. Now, if the contract says I will be here for half my down payment, but before I go on the stage, I want all of my money, and you agree to it, well, then you can't walk out and change your mind halfway in the contract. It all depends on what the contractual arrangement is.
You know, okay, so we have read now where the partial refund. So how they quantifying that part? No, I ain't asking earlier. I just wondering how would they be quantifying that partial refund, because they say that vice partner loan costs more. So I don't know. I just asking questions. So I was going to get answers to those.
That whole thing. Now we did invite Jacko. I think Jacko is his name, who's the promoter, to come on the program. Yeah, but he has not replied to anything. One of the other promoters did reply to me, but he said that he couldn't speak on the Vibes Cartel issue because he was dealing with other artists in the show. But he couldn't comment on the Vibes Cartel issue. And I think Jacko is the
maybe we could ask local promoters to, like Randy Glasgow and them.
Yeah. So I did reach out to Jacko, but he didn't reply. But I think they're having a media conference today. So I suppose we will get a sense of what their position is on it, even though he had an opportunity to come on this show.
As we talk media, Richard, stick a pin right there. We'll do 8 o'clock news and then we'll come back and close off the show.
All right. Thank you, Wendell, for keeping us on our toes. 8 o'clock news is next.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is your news update for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. I am Amanda Mitchell with New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The People's National Movement held its internal election nomination day yesterday, with 51 party members offering themselves for various leadership positions. According to the Election Supervisory Committee, opposition leader Penelope Beckles was the sole nominee for political leader and was therefore nominated unopposed. The nomination process ran from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and was described as constant and smooth. Other contested positions include chairman, with candidates Farai Hove Masaisal, Marvin Gonzalez, and Chinua Aleni. Vice chairman, with 5 nominees, including Esau Mohammed, Paula Gopi Schoon, and Dr. Amory Brown. And general secretary, with Roger Boynes, Foster Cummings, and Tova Lynn Sandy vying for the position. The successful nominees will compete in elections on Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. The judiciary has denied claims by Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander that police stations are functioning as courtrooms, stating instead that accused persons are simply placed before computers for virtual appearances. However, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social Welfare Association President ASP Gideon Dixon strongly disagreed, arguing that police stations are effectively being turned into courtrooms. When station spaces have to be converted from virtual spaces for the court to carry out its duty, it simply means all the commotion, all the activities within a station environment must cease, Dixon said. He questioned the judiciary's claim that the TTPS had declined to staff courts, calling the assertion unfamiliar and noting that dedicated court staff continue to perform their duties despite staffing shortages. Island E-Tickets has announced full refunds for patrons who purchased tickets for the Vibes Cartel concert through their platform. In a media release yesterday, the company confirmed that 3 headline performers who were advertised to appear did not perform at the One Caribbean Music Festival. We are deeply disappointed that the experience delivered did not match what was promoted to the public, the company stated. Refunds will be processed automatically to the original payment method over the next 5 to 7 business days, and customers who don't see funds reflected by June 17th should contact support. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs continues to monitor the pause on U.S. student visa issuance, confirming that Trinidad and Tobago students who have already secured visa appointments will have them honored as scheduled. The ministry stated that the temporary suspension of new applications for F1, M1, and J1 visas does not signify a change in U.S. student visa policy toward Trinidad and Tobago. This situation constitutes a short operational pause, the ministry said, adding that it remains hopeful for a swift resolution once the ongoing internal review by U.S. authorities is complete. Police are investigating a shooting in La Horquetta that claimed the life of 26-year-old Omari McEachnie and injured a 31-year-old woman. The incident occurred around 10:35 p.m. Sunday along Charlie Davis Street, Phase 4, when a white Nissan Tiida drove up and several gunshots were fired from the vehicle. Both victims were seated outside a shop when the attack occurred. The woman, who sustained gunshot wounds to both legs, is in stable condition at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. crime scene investigators recovered 45 spent 9mm shell casings, 3 live rounds, and other evidence. Current high concentrations of Saharan dust are expected to continue until Wednesday morning, according to the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service. By late morning Wednesday, there should be a reduction to generally moderate concentration, with further reduction to mild to moderate by late afternoon. However, from late morning Thursday, concentration is likely to rise again to generally moderate for the rest of the week. Despite the dust, another tropical wave has been analyzed in the eastern Atlantic, and its presence may be felt by Thursday into Friday. You are listening to news on New Era TT Radio. In international news, Microsoft founder Bill Gates says most of his fortune will be spent on improving health and education services in Africa over the next 20 years. Speaking in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, the 69-year-old announced that by unleashing human potential through health and education, every country in Africa should be on a path to prosperity. Gates announced last month that he would give away 99% of his vast fortune, which he expects to reach $200 billion by 2045. The Gates Foundation said it had 3 priorities: ending preventable deaths of mothers and babies, ensuring the next generation grows up without deadly infectious diseases, and lifting millions out of poverty. At the end of 20 years, the foundation will sunset its operations, it stated. That concludes your news update for today. I'm Amanda Mitchell for New Era TT Radio and M&E TV. The Breakfast Show with Wendell, Richard and Sir Charles continues right after this short break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
San Fernando, we're here. The wait is over. The indisputable #1 comedy of 2025, Married and Mischievous, is in San Fernando for one night only at Sapa, Sunday, June 8th at 6:30 p.m. One show only. Tickets available at K Squared Fashion, C3 Center in Brentwood Mall, Fens by the Roundabout in Maraval, and at the Sapa box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily from Monday, 2nd of June. Married and Mischievous, one night only at Sapa, Sunday, June 8th. Strictly adults only.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rum Box, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rum Box, drinking out of the box. Of course, we're back as we head towards 8:15 on this Tuesday morning. We're still taking your calls at 281-1315. That's 281-1315 as we head towards the end of the show on this Tuesday morning.
All right. Of course, tomorrow our guest will be Senator Lalit, Independent Senator Lalit. She'll be our guest tomorrow. And Tuesday we'll plan a surprise for you, and then Friday, of course, we'll lime. And don't forget, look out for the breakfast show boat ride coming up very soon. All right, free bacon shack courtesy Gaylan.
No doubles, by?
Well, she might do doubles, you never know. Shane might do the doubles, you know.
We're taking your calls, 281-1315, 281-1315. We're taking your calls at this point. I don't know if there are any comments to read in the comment section, and then that's your.
Well, the comment section does get personal when we are interviewing a guest, right? There's be a back and forth between people, right? Just choose that opportunity to have a conversation with one another.
What was their main grouse today?
Yeah, so there was nothing really about our show, except that Cheryl Henry and Far Rockaway went at it. Still in front. I don't know what the no was. I don't know if it was for the vote. Mrs. R was up in her feelings again. Donna Ramlo Chan was saying follow the money. And she was saying it's a waste of good money. Beauty Culture also commented. Who else? That was it. That was the Cheryl Henry, Donna Ramlo Chan and them. That is it.
Yeah, I will share ideas with you guys on that before you. But before I go, let's take this call now. All right, caller, morning to you.
Oh yes, good morning. Always nice to call the greatest show, the breakfast show.
Mr. Billy, you're still in Tobago, boy?
I call you and the two wise men. I want to speak on cricket this morning. You know how to feel. I think the politics. Yeah, the politics must take a back of all the sports. West Indies cricket is very passionate and close to my heart. And I'm saying that so many times we know that West Indies cricket have turned the corner. It seems like this corner, I know this hell has never happened in this corner. Because what is happening in England now with West Indies, both male and the female, bringing cheers to my I am in Scarborough. But it's a very nice place. I'm hurt how we have this losses, and I know a man like when the Stevens who is a cricket enthusiast, and we can play the game as already I did to me, play some nice strokes. But West Indies cricket is in a bad way, and I just hope and pray that everybody, all the committees there, will remind and look at where we're going. Because we ain't doing good. We're not looking good. We are being defeated. We are being devastated by some of the teams in the world cricket, and we're looking very bad. So I am good. I am very good.
Surprisingly, I have not looked at any of the cricket. Yeah, I have not looked at any of the cricket so far. I just have very little interest. After the show, I just be worn out. Dealing with Richard and Sir Charles not easy, you know.
A cricket man like you, boy?
It take a lot out of me now when I'm on it.
Right. I was to tell you thank you very much for the mangoes, sir.
No problem.
No problem.
My kid is empty and I get a bag of mangoes. Well, when I say a bag of mangoes, 10 to 12 almost every day, and I just give it away. You know.
What kind of mangoes?
Julie mangoes.
Julie mangoes.
All handpicked. I handpick my mangoes.
Well, if you could drop by Sir Charles, you could drop here.
He said that
you could come here for your mangoes.
No, you could drop here. You could drop by Sir Charles, which is more inconvenient than dropping here.
Sir Charles, listen. Sir Charles set me up. Sir Charles make me feel even right off the eastern.
Right off the bus road. You come off on the wrong path.
The way send me through some back road up, and then it bring me back on the main road. I said, what kind of man?
I am just right by Eddie Had Ground. The man come off quite up the road, off the bus road when Richard and have to navigate down the main road.
That is what Google Maps I should say send me up St. Michael Road. It send me onto the eastern main road.
Okay,
cross some side streets, back down some road, onto the eastern main road again. I said, what the hell I hear there?
That reminds me of Shadow Calypso. Go wrong so and then come wrong so. That's what we used to do.
That's exactly what Google Maps do that morning. No,
but this is where we wrap it up in the breakfast show this morning. So thank you so much for joining us. We know you have a choice in whom you listen to on a morning, and we're glad you chose us. Just means you have impeccable taste. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health on this Tuesday morning.
All right, folks, remember, you've got one life, live it.
All right, so as we move off of M&E TV, remember we continue with our streaming on our platform at www.newerattradio.com, and of course, don't forget when you get there to support the channel and support us on our YouTube channel also. Go there, like and subscribe.
All right, so this has been The Breakfast Show. Have a fantastic day and see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand show energy.